Hello, my name is Rory Andrassi. I want to talk to you about one of my favorite franchises of all time. It is a little niche game called Xenoblade Chronicles. And what it really is a part of it is an Nintendo IP, and it is pretty niche compared to other major franchises that Nintendo has made, like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. But even though that it may not sell well and it may not be like as popular as I still feel like it is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. It for me personally, for over the past almost 23 years of my life, nothing has really stuck to me as much as that game. And it is not even as that special of a concept really. It's just a normal art. It's just a standard RPG. But instead of having turn-based mechanics, it follows a more of like real-time combat while still having RPG elements. It was a great combination of the two that makes it for really fun and always really fun gameplay and always keeps you on your toes. The reason why I love this game so very much is for so many reasons that makes it such a fantastic game. For one, the story is fantastic. The only thing that sucks is I can't talk too much about it without spoiling such great moments, but there's so much twists and turns into the story that will leave you always question never always makes you wondering what is even going to happen next. You never know. All you know is the main premise of the main character Shulk gets a legendary weapon to fight off the evil race called the Mechon, who invaded his homeland and pretty much killed his whole home and family. So what he does is he goes on a whole quest to try to stop this menace, but it turns out there's many different twists and turns that changes the whole dynamic of the story, and it just leads you into a whole thing of like what is even gonna happen next. So when I thought about when they're making a sequel to this game, I'm like, wow, how could it go anywhere else but up? When you have such a great original game and then it leads to a sequel, it's like you only think about the most positive things. And then when you see the first trailers, you get a little worried, but not too bad, because it takes a whole different turn with, instead of being point A to point B, it goes to hopping all over the place in the second game story. And the main character in that game, Rex, is a real big letdown, in all honesty. After playing the second game, it made me feel really sad. Because I didn't want to be biased. I didn't want to think that the main character from the first game, Shulk, was just the best character ever created. And I didn't want to try to like ignore that Rex also had a chance to grow as a personality, or try to grow his character personality and become something even greater. But it never gets to that point. I always feel like Rex is just always a letdown. From time and time and again, I've been getting more and more disappointed throughout the story, and then it just makes me realize that wow, the first game is definitely better than the second game. Sure, there's more different locations in the second game, like more of like a winter theme, a wasteland area, but I like how the first game is just all consistent from point A to point B. You see from Shulk's homeland to the evil bad guys' homeland, and you see that those two dynamics colliding. It makes it really interesting compared to the second game, which is just more of like random different islands all over the place. And then the music, the second game has some good music points, but man, the first game's music, I still feel like holds a special place in my heart. And the story, and as mean as this is to say, I don't feel like it can compare. The second game cannot compare to the first game. The first game has a much more better story compared to the second game. It really stinks that I can't really dive into so much details, because I do highly recommend to play both of these games to get a good feel about what's going on for both stories. But all I gotta say is that, in my opinion, the first game is better than the second game, and I feel like you should give them both a great shot. But even this day, I still think the first is better than the second. Thank you.